Yeah, what up, world? You already know what it is. It's your man, Legacystarr, right here, broadcasting to you live from Made for Kings Studios, broadcasting Made for Kings TV. I need y'all to go check out all the archives of all our crazy shows and all the content on madeforkings.com. Check it out, see what's popping. You know, we fly out here. But I'm sitting down right now with a super dope brother, extraordinaire, producer, engineer, and you just telling me got a whole lot of other stuff going on, so definitely want to get into that with you. But before we do that, let's get out all the pleasantries. Let the people know who you are, what's your name, and where you from.
Appreciate your legacy, man. Thank you for the opportunity to be on the show, first and foremost. For those who may not know me, my name is Twiz, the Certified Banga man. I'm a producer first. Okay. I've been making beats since I was like probably 8 years old. I'm 32 now, so all my math wizards, they can know how long I've been doing it.
All right.
I learned how to audio engineer because, hey, when you create music, you got to start the process. So I've been doing that.
Of course.
Personally, graduated from First Institute in Orlando and also Savannah State University in Savannah, Georgia. So we got the dual thing going on. So.
You educated. Okay. All right.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what's up.
Yes, sir.
So, You mentioned you started producing at the age of 8.
Yes.
What started you? What lit the fire to make you want to do that?
Man, I've always loved music. Like music was just always a part of me. I always listened to it before I went to bed. I did it while I did my homework. I just went to school, and eventually I ended up like when mixtapes first came out. I ended up like downloading the mixtape stuff and selling it to some of my classmates and stuff like that. So that's how I made that happen. And then next thing you know, I was like, man, I want to make my own music and just invested in myself. Quick story. It's my freshman year of high school, and it was a junior. It's a math class. He didn't do too well in math, so he was in there with us, freshman. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? But he changed my life forever, though.
Okay,
real talk, because he came one day and was like, "Yo, I got this beat machine." I'm like, "Word, that's what's up." I never had a beat machine. I'm just starting getting into this stuff.
Okay,
he was like, "You can get it for 25." That's it, 25. Man, hustle that money up, bought that beat machine. That was the first hardware that I had, in my studio.
What beat machine was it?
This is when Akai first got started. It was like an 800, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing too fancy, but it was high tech for me because I didn't have anything.
Right.
I had the karaoke machine with 2 tape decks. That's what I had.
I had that too, man.
Facts.
You can work wonders with that.
Exactly.
You got the imagination.
Yeah. Man, listen, I used to take my grandma gospel tapes, and you know how they got the little square holes in it? I used to take tissue in there and put them in there and re-record it.
Of course.
Oh, man, that's how we used to do it. And put it in the karaoke machine, you got the mic hooked up.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Dopeness. I'm right there with you. I've done that too myself.
Thanks.
So, like, when you first getting started out as a producer,
right?
Obviously you need equipment and all that, but like, how do you go about researching, what's the right type of equipment to use and whatnot?
Well, before the internet, really, it was kind of like trial and error. You bought some stuff and then you collab with other people who may be in the same industry, and you ask them, hey, what works for you? This works for me. And you find out and you swap information. But with the internet now, there's so many people doing reviews on things. I recently started a podcast just basically telling people about the industry. It's called 5 Minutes of Twisdom. And I really did that to just for people getting started, or that indie artists that don't really have the funds to necessarily keep going to like the big boy studios, but they just want to do a little something in their room just to kind of get that content out there. That I do it for people like that, and people who's trying to do things like that. So
that's what's up. Yeah, I was checking out your IG page a little earlier, and I saw you do have instructional videos on how to do things. Like I was looking at one just now, mic placement when you recording and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So, 40 years ago, I used to MC. I was an artist myself.
Nice. With a name like Legacy, I expect that.
Of course, I still do my thing too. Right. But sometimes I'd be in there were 2 types of producer / engineers that I've worked with.
Right.
Ones who will give you the beat, just go record and not say nothing.
Right.
And then there's the other type who will sit there and be like, nah, I think you should do that over or do it like this and blah, blah, blah. Which one would you categorize yourself as?
Definitely number 2.
Okay.
I hear horror stories from artists that may come in there and they just they just basically recorded them. They did the job necessarily, but they didn't really care about the product. They're just like, I got paid, you know, my job was just to record you.
Right.
It's an extra fee or whatever to, you know, put on my producer hat and help.
Right.
And see, I chose the other route. You know, I chose the other route. Like, look, what comes out of the studio reflects me too. You know what I'm saying? The more attractive the music sounds, the more business can come my way. So I'll go the extra mile to, you know, work with the artist or something like that if they're getting it started and, you know, they're open. You know, that's another thing. Artists has to be open. You know, a lot of people feel like their way is the way. You know, listen, as a producer, we have dual ears. We listen to the audio side because we got to make sure it's right and musically. Right. So that's like a double-edged, you know, sword. And when you come to that, so you'd be wise to listen to like a producer that knows what you're doing, of course.
Yeah, true indeed, true indeed. Nah, you're definitely right. Because you know, a lot of times when you have a musically trained ear, you could pick up on things that the average dude can't pick up on.
Facts.
And when you're sitting down and presenting that package of your product to somebody, they gonna pick up on stuff like that.
That's real.
Professionalism is key.
Right.
We're giving y'all jewels here on Meet the Kings.
Drop them like salt.
You know what I'm saying? So what else? What other hats do you wear? You mentioned that you was an engineer.
Yes.
How long do you think it took you before you really got comfortable being an engineer?
Well, I would say I didn't start really taking it professionally till 2008.
Okay.
So, you know, I recorded audio before, but, you know, I did things just off of trial and error. Like I was self-taught a lot until I ended up going to school. The only reason why I went to school was because I wanted to know the why. Why do we use compressors? Why do we use EQs? Why do we do that? I used them already just off of instincts, but not knowing the true meaning of it and how it can affect your audio. So it wasn't until that point where I went to school and learned a couple of things, and then I was able to apply it now with the knowledge that I already had before. And since 2008, I feel like, you know, I have grown a lot as far as an audio engineer.
That's dope. That's dope. So what, you know, as far as going back to being a producer,
right?
You know, sort of the same question. How long did it take before you felt comfortable, like, okay, I have my own kind of sound? Right. And I'm not sounding like, you know, everybody else.
The thing is, you kind of don't know you have a different sound. You just know it's the sound that you make. And until you start getting yourself out there and you start recording with different artists and stuff like that, be like, yo, this sounds different. You know, they let you know. The feedback you get from the people that you work with kind of lets you know if your stuff is different. Okay. Because a lot of times when you're up and coming, people like to compare you to stuff. Oh, you sound like Timberland, or you sound like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that kind of gives you a gauge of what, you know, direction you're probably headed in if you're unsure on what it is that you need to do. But I mean, eventually, until you get that one hit or you start a wave or something, you're gonna sound like somebody else until you get that success.
Right. Well, I know for artists, for MCs in particular, you know, it's kind of taboo to bite, so to speak. Yeah. Is it the same way for producers? Like, would a producer hear something that you've done, be like, yo, nigga, that's my shit, and does that go down?
Yeah, all day. It's on the radio. If you listen to a lot of songs that have already been done, most of the new songs are remixes. You know, I have to explain to my kids, like when they hear that Chris Brown, I'm so undecided. Yeah. Like, man, that's Shanice, bro, all day. That will always be Shanice to me. She's the originator of that song. Right. Beyonce, the new song that she did, you know, from Frank Beverly and Maze, you know, Before I Let Go. Like, kids today think that's Beyonce's song. You know what I'm saying? So it happens a lot. And then producers, you know, with producers selling their own drum kits and stuff like that, you know, you're still bringing your sound out there more because people are dope. It's a lot of Pharrell kits. It's a lot of 808 Mafia kits that's out there because it makes sense, you know, to sell that stuff. But again, you're just watering it down because that's they're not even being creative. Right. Some people may tweak it and change it and make it its own or whatever, but most people are just like, hey, I just need the sound. And if it sounds like the industry, like you said, and you're biting it sounds like the industry. If I got traps like, you know, a certain producer that's out right now that's hot, man, that's what they need. That's what they're looking for. So I feel you.
Yeah. So you've been doing it for a while, for a few years. Do you see that, you know, 10 years ago in 2008, there was more of a push for people to be original, whereas now it's more so to emulate somebody else just to get heard?
I agree. Just if you look at it, so many people, and it's kind of crazy how it is the contrast between those two, because back in the day, there were a lot of people who were talented. There's a lot of people who did a lot of things, and they were really, really talented. See, what the internet has done is changed it from actually being a talent driven to a popularity contest. There's people who have songs out there like, come on, some of these songs wouldn't fly if you try to put this on the radio back in the day. The A&R look at you like, are you freaking stupid? Like, what are you trying to do? You know what I'm saying? So it's become more of a byproduct, if you will, whereas it's not the actual talent. The talent is what you really should want. That's why we appreciate the Beyoncés and the people who actually are really great at what they do. You know what I'm saying? But the rest, the cloud down here is I call it the cloud because it's just so much stuff. You don't know what you're gonna get. You know, it's to the point where not only does the radio attack us as far as playing songs all day long, and if you're on the other end, you're thinking like, yeah, play my song all day long. But as a consumer, you know, you got this all now, and now the internet created playlists. So now I'm getting hit by double directions because the radio station is nothing but a playlist now. It's not even live jocks on most of those things, man. You feel what I'm saying? Like back in the day, like I would have to hit you up to get my stuff spin, or you'll spin it just because you feel like, hey, this is dope. I'm about to throw this on the radio, and that's how the people knew about the music. Now it gets shoved down our throats.
You just got money, you could, you know,
exactly,
that payola.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
But so what other things are you into as far as music or anything else that you do?
Well, right now, over the past 2 years, I've currently ended up getting into teaching.
Okay.
Which is a realm that I never thought that I would really be in. You know, I've always had a curious mind, so I study things naturally because I like to know more. I love knowledge.
That's
you know what I'm saying? It's great to have knowledge. Reading is important.
Reading is fundamental.
It is. It's kind of like a necessary evil, if you will, because you know sometimes reading it's a lot. But the information attained, and now you know that reading can also go towards YouTube videos. You know what I'm saying? Where people are educating other people. You know, just like the podcast I mentioned earlier that I did. And I ended up teaching youth and just really educating them not only how to do the music process and harnessing their talents, but also guiding them to listen to, guiding them to use more positive messages in their music. Okay. Because if you listen to the radio, it's a lot of things on there. They don't really tell us how to do conscious things that are really good. You know what I'm saying? Like my little kid should not know what the trap is. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't know what a stripper is. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, be old enough to know what a stripper is before you know, a kid should not know what it is. But they, you know, all that negative stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or I should say adult stuff. You feel what I'm saying? That adult stuff, there's an arena for that. It's not necessarily the radio per se. You know, back in the day we had the clean versions. You know what I'm saying? But it went to the point now where they're barely bleeping out something for you to hear it, and it's kids listening. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, do you feel that, you know, it's sort of your responsibility as someone who, you know, is involved with music to put forth or to be involved with a positive message? Because I hear a lot of artists say, I'm not a role model. That's not what I'm here for. So how do you feel about that?
Well, you are a role model because at the end of the day, you're somebody's son, you're somebody's brother, you're somebody's cousin, father, you know what I'm saying, uncle. It's your responsibility to make sure that the younger generation has something to look up to. Now, I can't control what somebody's lifestyle may be and what they may rap about or anything like that. But at least if you're going to make that kind of music, use your platform in other ways to show the positivity. You feel what I'm saying? Like, there's stuff you can do. You can help other people, you know, get into college or something, or you can create a school for people, or you can, you know, create ways. One thing about just the black community or minority community, in fact, is we lack a lot of financial intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Which is why we're stuck in some situations that we're in. So, you know, if you do get that sense to do something good like that, spread it to your people. You know, spread it back to your people, help your people rise. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing we have to get better at as a culture. Like, we have to get better at supporting each other. And it's enough money out. Listen, it's billions of people in the world. Why do I need to hate how you get your money?
Exactly. Get your own shit.
Yeah, exactly. Get your own stuff. Or we can link up and let's get it together. Either way.
Definitely.
But it's no need to, you know, stunt the next man. Because, you know, nah, bro.
Speaking of money, as a producer, you know, obviously one way to get paid is, you know, people obviously paying you for your beats. But also to talk about the, you know, more business aspect of it, you know, points on the song and stuff like that. You know, a lot of people don't understand that, and they think it's, $200 for a beat. Like the dude who, what's his name? OT Genesis, I think.
Yeah, $200 for that beat.
And look, but where's the producer now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So obviously everybody want to eat and make money.
Right.
What's the most lucrative and efficient way to do that?
Streaming.
Okay.
I mean, that's where we're at now with the internet. Everything streams. Podcast streams. You know what I'm saying? You stream movies. You stream songs.
Right.
So streaming is the way to go now. It used to be, could go to the A&Rs or go to the artist manager or whatever and sell your tracks or whatever. And then you start getting into points and stuff because that's a whole nother ball game. So it's important to know about those points.
Right.
Just throwing that out there. Do your homework, people. But in the technology age that we're in now, it's all about getting your beat somewhere that's not necessarily traditional. Now, while artists, you could make a good bit of money off of that, get a hit record, we got it out. But just the percentage of somebody getting a hit record is slim.
Right.
So how else can you make bread while still doing this what you love and not have that hit record? Right. Well, that's when you use your beats and your instrumentals and your songs, put them on movies, commercials. You know what I'm saying? Like movies. I already said movies. Yeah, movies. You know what I'm saying? Little things like that. Everything needs music. Right. TV shows, they need music. Movies, they need music. That's where you market to make that extra money while you're still doing the music side.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't think that they just stick in the box of just the artist and the music. Right. It's byproducts. Look at 50 Cent to be an example. This man, that music take him to the next platform, able to create movies, able to create his own directed TV show that's successful. Jay-Z, same way. Like, this man's a billionaire now. He just used music to get his platform that opened up other doors. Right. So the music can get you where you need to be, but in this age, it's not the end of the career. Back in the day, you probably could get away with that. You probably could have a successful career and be eating good for a while if you did your paperwork right. Right. But today, nah. You here today, gone tomorrow.
Right. So how do you propose to stay relevant in this, fast era of dog eat dog and here today, going tomorrow kind of thing?
Unfortunately, if you're chasing this realm, you got to stay in the know. So you got to use the latest apps. Got to check out the latest hashtags, the latest trends. You got to stay on it because it's changing so rapidly. If you don't stay on it, you're gonna get left behind and you're gonna miss out on something. Right. So I know for me, because growing up, I'm used to actually going into the studio and not posting everything I did. Like, to me, I feel like nobody needs to know my moves. You know what I'm saying? I like the move in silence type thing. Right. But in this world, you can't really be in silence anymore. If you silent, you don't eat. Right. You feel what I'm saying? If you silent, you good. If you silent, you don't eat in this world, the way the world is now. So you have to make noise. You got to let people know you're here. You got to let the people who need to get you to where you need to get, let them know you're here. I say when you start your own setups and stuff like that, like even like this podcast, you're sending out a beacon to the world to let them know, hey, we here, we in here. Right. You know what I'm saying? And we want more people to come check us out, check the movement out, watch us, view us. Right. You know what I'm saying? But you can sit here and say, man, I wish my podcast, I got an idea for a podcast. I wish it would be the #1 selling. Well, it can't till you send your signal out.
Right. I like that. I like that analogy. Sending your beacon out.
Send your beacon out. Let them
know what I'm saying?
If they checking for survivors, oh, look, boy, what's this over here shining bright right there? What's that? Oh, snap. Right. Hey, y'all dope. Where y'all been at? You know what I'm saying?
True indeed. Put them in the pocket and do research.
Exactly, man.
As I always ask people, in this age, as you said, is it is it possible to be to saturate, to have too much of, damn, this nigga Twizzle again? He coming out with something else. But like you said, that's once you fall off from that public eye, people forget about you because there's so much other stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? But I like that. Put your beacon out. And let them find you.
Yeah. Let them find you, bro.
So, like, what's your ultimate goal? Where you want to go with all of this? Is there one lane you want to stay in, or do you want to sort of?
Well, musically, my ultimate goal is to win a Grammy. Like, I've always wanted to win a Grammy. Like, I just thought that out of all the awards that you could get, those were pretty cool. And there's a lot of audio engineers and producers, prestigious people who get that award. And I know some people probably say there's some better music awards, but for me personally, it's to win a Grammy. And win a Grammy and open up a school. To give back and teach. Like, there's a lot of schools that's out there that's still doing these things, but they're not geared towards like how the industry works today. Because once upon a time, you know, audio and video was radio and TV. You feel what I'm saying? You had to be a corporate business to have that stuff.
Right.
Now we here doing a podcast, you don't have to pay no TV station, ABC, NBC, and all that. You do it on your own. It's your own stuff, your own equipment. It's you. You have the power now.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's the big difference now. You know, the platform to use that.
Right. I feel you. That's what's up. So, what do you want to use your platform for? I know you say, you know, to teach and whatnot. Are there other things? So, right now, obviously, there's a lot going on in our country.
Right.
One of the biggest stories that have come out recently is the Central Park 5.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was deep.
You know, the passing of Nipsey a few months back.
Right.
So I think, me personally, I think we're at a pivotal point in our culture.
Right.
But my concern and my worry is that this is the flavor for right now.
Right.
So like a couple months ago was, you know, the Gucci ban.
Right.
Now I still see niggas still rocking Gucci.
That ain't going nowhere.
You know what I'm saying? So how do you think, you know, as you mentioned, to put that positivity out there for us to get over that hump to make that, you know, more relevant and significant to us?
Right. So to be honest with you, I want to use my platform to be able to show people that it's possible. Like we see these artists up there and stuff like that, and we see them be successful and stuff. And sometimes coming from a place where, like, some people come from some grimy places and I look like a facade. You know, it seems like a dream that's not going to come true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to be like a testimony to say, hey, look, you know, I was a regular person like, you know, you or you or you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's possible. You know what I'm saying? Here's how I did it. Here's my story.
Right.
You know, you don't have to emulate my story, but be motivated and inspired by my story to know this, chase your dreams. You know what I'm saying? Because some people's dreams don't come true. You know what I'm saying? Like, but to be one of the few people, because it's a small percent that actually gets to that tier.
Right.
But I want to be one of those people to get there for that reason, to show people it's possible, and then just to shine a positive light on how to do it, that you can have that type of success and not have to be indulged into a lot of things that's negative. You don't have to make the news for negative stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of millionaires out there and even probably billionaires out there that do a lot of great stuff, but they don't really broadcast themselves out there like that, but they still do what they need to do. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. That's what's up. So when you wear in your producer hat, are there any particular artists that you're working with right now that you enjoy working with?
I enjoy a few people working with. It's a young pop singer. She just turned 19. She probably older than that though. I knew her since she was 16, so I stopped counting after a while. I thought about with you, but her name's Sydney Bailey. She's Beaufort, South Carolina. Okay. So she's real dope down there. I just worked with one of my partners named Troop the Great. He's cool. He's on our song called No No. Okay. And I just like working with like various different artists, man, because I love different genres. So it's not just hip hop for me. Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? It's pop. You know what I'm saying? Like all kinds of stuff. Okay. I don't mind making it R&B. I don't make it.
If Lil Nas X hit you up and said, "Yo, let's do this country joint," would you do it?
I mean, yeah, it's something different. You know what I'm saying? It's something different. And I know he getting a lot of static right now today, but that's a whole nother cowboy.
I mean, I like it. Yeah. Because at first I didn't listen to it and I just seen the imagery. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? But then I actually listened to the song and it's all right. Yeah. It's all right. It's a nice melody.
My kids play it to death. To death. Like, it's banned in my house right now. Like, don't play that. don't play that no more. My son got on his phone like, don't do it.
So speaking of kids now, you know, if they approach you and be like, "Yo, Daddy, I want to get into music and blah blah blah," what's some of the best advice you think you would be able to give them based on your experience?
One, be sure that that's what you really, really want, because music is a sacrifice. It sacrifices time, sacrifices a lot of money. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be mentally prepared for it. And then, you know, as their dad, I'll be able to help them on a lot of things. Or I might even sponsor something like, all right, well, I'll buy you a little setup for you to get started. Right. You know what I'm saying? And the rest is on you, you know, but that's what I would tell them. Make sure that's what you really, really want first and foremost, and just stay dedicated to it. Like, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You know what I mean? Like, there's some people that we hear overnight, but they've been grinding since 10 years ago. They got a 10 like I remember the "This Is Why I'm Hot."
Yeah,
that song was out for 6 years before it really got hot.
Yeah.
That's a long time. Right. You know what I'm saying? You think when you create it instantly, your song's gonna be hot, it's gonna pop and catch on fire. Nah, like people gotta hear it.
Right.
Gotta market it. So.
Right. That's what's up. Okay. So if anybody's out there who wants to check out some of your material or whatnot, where would they go and see all that?
Word. Well, you definitely want to make sure you check me out on Instagram. The Instagram name is @Twizzleman. That's TWIZZLE man 56. You can find that on there. YouTube Certified Banga 100 TV. That's Certified Banga 100 TV.
That's it.
Check me out.
You heard it first on Made for Kings TV. Last question.
Yeah.
Any festivities in New York this week? Is July 4th. You gonna be up here or you heading back down?
So I just moved up to New York a few weeks ago.
Okay. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So,
Welcome.
Thank you. A lot of people's like, bro, you left all that. Like, listen, I need something different.
That's what's up.
That's why I'm here.
Okay.
So I mean, you let me know. Is there any events that I need to go to?
Yeah, it might. Yeah, some illegal stuff. You know, some women's and
some
things.
gangster stuff, right? G14 classified.
You know what I'm saying? You need special access to hear about this stuff. But I thank you, brother.
No doubt.
For coming, sitting down and talking with us and sharing a little bit about your life and what you do. And I appreciate the fact that you're doing the teaching thing. I think that's very important.
Thank you.
To impart that knowledge on the people and spread, help the younger kids come up and,
that's real.
Help them do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Shouts to the mans behind the boards, Mr. 13, always making us look and sound great.
Already.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like I said earlier, go to madeforkings.com and check out all the archives of our shows, the Cypher Show, all the content, all the news, all the music, everything we put up there, all the videos. Stay tuned for more. This is how we does it. It's your man Legacystarr. Shout out to my man Twizzleman for coming through.
Know it.
We out of here.
Certified.
Peace.